Uh, just being in the right place at the right time, I think. Playing in a good team like this, I think playing on the wing is a good place to be, and the way we're moving the ball at the minute is definitely suiting me. So happy to stand out there and wait for the ball to come out. Yeah, definitely. I think we never lost faith or lost sight of what we were as a team. We knew what we achieved at the end of last season and the performances that we put in at the end of last season, and we knew nothing really changed. We just struggled with a bit of injuries, and different things happen throughout the year that are always going to happen, but unfortunately we probably were less fortunate than other teams. There was particular games where we were very thin on the deck, but we made it work. We kept ourselves in a position to have a good run at the end of the year. It's about looking forward, really. Definitely using the success of the past and what's worked in the past, but not getting too fixated with what's happened before and just focusing on each game as it comes. If something's always worked for us, and we're not getting too far ahead of ourselves. All we've eyes on is Edinburgh on Friday, so we're looking forward to that. Yeah, I'd keep in touch with Ben. I would have been good friends with Ben here, so it's been great to see how well he's been going over there. He's a kind of talisman for them, so he's definitely somebody we respect and we all have a good relationship with, so we'll be looking forward to playing against him and catching up with him after the game. Yeah, it was really enjoyable. I think we spoke all week about putting in a good performance at home. A lot of our best performances this season came away from home, and we just really wanted to show our own fans what we were about and play our game, and I think we really did that. First 20 minutes was quite difficult. They really brought it to us physically, so it wasn't easy at all, but we kept to our game plan, and it kind of paid dividends in the end, and I think our fitness really showed in the last 25 minutes or so. I think it's something that suits me. I think it's probably why I play on the wing for this team. The way we play the game, you're basically a third centre, and I suppose I played all my rugby as a centre growing up, so it's about slotting in different areas of the pitch. It's not just about standing out there waiting for the ball. As I said earlier, it's very much trying to show up in the right areas and being able to make the final pass if needs be, and I think that's what suits me, and that's why I enjoy playing this team. Yeah, look, they've a very powerful pack. I think they're maul and around that kind of score zone around the 22, they're very dangerous, so denying them access to our discipline will be a big part of the game. And then they've just good individual threats, the likes of Van der Merwe, Ben Healy's kicking game. They're just fellas you have to respect, and it's more about us doing our own thing as a team rather than focusing too much on what they're going to bring. But we feel if we get our own stuff right, then we'll be able to handle any team. Yeah, look, he's a savage talent. We knew that coming over. Even I would have watched his games over New Zealand. He's a serious talent, and he's someone that's brought a fresh kind of look at things to the squad as well from a Southern Hemisphere perspective. He looks at both sides of the ball differently to how we would, so he challenges a lot of the previous ideas we would have had. So not only on the pitch is he effective, but in the meeting rooms and off the pitch he's an incredible asset to have here as well. So he's been an unbelievable signing for us and a great fella off the pitch. So yeah, I think everyone's delighted with how he's going. Yeah, definitely. I think that's something that Prendy really drives, is having the crack as well, always being in good spirits and trying to enjoy everything we do, because it's quite a serious environment if you let it get the better of you. I think he's always trying to bring a bit of an edge to it in that perspective, and then there's obviously individuals like Zebo and Craig or whatever you'd know yourself would bring that edge to the dressing room as well, and I think it's an enjoyable team to be involved in now at the minute. Yeah, look, there's something to be said for that as well. I think the energy he gives the crowd lifts us all. It's unorthodox, but it manages to boost the energy in the stadium, and look, that filters through to the players, and he does things differently, but it's always worked for him and he continues to do it, so fair play to him.
They got through most of training today, and then we're just going to see how they pull up and react to the training that they've done. But no, they got through a good body of work, so fingers crossed they'll come through and be ready for the game. Yeah, no, he's progressing really well. He'll keep reintegrating himself back into his return to play stuff that he's been doing with Dave Powers and the physio department, and hopefully we'll see him back on the grass with us, if not next week, the week after. Yeah, they are. They're kind of like mini finals, aren't they, every week now, with the league being so tight, and the Sharks obviously being alive in Europe as well to potentially gain that European slot. So it's really that's intensified things more if it could be possible. So yeah, we're pretty calm and measured about it. We've not really looked past the game that we've got in front of us, and that this week is Edinburgh, and we know what threats they've got and what they're going to come with, and it's a big challenge going over there and performing. So we've addressed a few bits that we needed to sort out from Connacht, and we're looking forward to the challenge that we're going to face this weekend on Friday night. No, you just kind of do that after the fact. You go through your review process, and you just bank that away once you've addressed it with the lads next week. And if we do draw them down the road, then we do, and we can revert back to it and take our learnings from it. But it's like I said to you there, it's one game at a time for us, and everything's focused and locked in on Edinburgh on Friday. And very happy. It's come off the body of a lot of work from guys that might not necessarily be being selected at the moment. Think back to those games while the Six Nations were on and the wins we were picking up there, the momentum we were gathering with the players that were playing in them games. That your Jack O'Sullivans, people like that. That's really kind of spurred things on, and then you add the international lads back in. RG's fit again and available, and those guys just add that bit of extra weight and size to the pack, and the detail that we've been coaching and working on as a group. It just strengthens that, and we think we've seen the results the last couple of weeks, and we're not kind of done there really. We want to keep driving that on. He's a quality human. He's got that real Crusaders way about him. You can see, and I've worked with guys from that environment before down the road, and he really kind of epitomises that culture that comes from there, and it really showed while we were away in South Africa. He was constantly hanging out with your Mark Donnellys and people like that, Scott Buckley, those guys. He's a real good guy in terms of bringing those young lads with him, creating really strong relationships, so then he can have those, not to sound cheesy, but those kind of organic conversations around set piece especially, and he shares his knowledge incredibly well, and gives those lads that little bit of, I suppose, safety to try things out, and at the same time he tests them every week we train as well, because he's got to make sure his tools are sharp going into the game at the weekend. So he's a great bloke, and we're lucky to have him. I think we've not even seen anywhere near the best of him, and we're excited to see how he keeps developing. Oh yeah, hugely impressed, and it's a testament to the work that goes on in the pathway. Gar and Tommy, specifically with the forwards now, the work that those guys have done in terms of giving these lads weekly goals to go and chase, and then the model that we have where we're fully integrated with those academy lads as well, so they're exposed to training every week with the senior guys. And it's not something that can happen overnight. I think this has been a prolonged period of development for these guys, and it's great to see Mark coming on and being confident and showing people what he can do, because we're dying for him to go out there and do it, because he's not just a good player, but he's a great kid as well, and we really want him to kick on.